Okay, well, welcome back to video number 5, and I hope you're enjoying them so far. This one's going to be about how to get the best response from every visitor that comes to your website. Now, if you think about this, if you get 1,000 visitors to your website and they all think to themselves when they're at your site, that's interesting, and then they leave by clicking on the back button or just shutting down their browser, has that website really achieved what you want? Well, I would say definitely no. Now, branding experts might tell you that it can be good branding, but I'd say don't get caught up focusing on branding. In the vast majority of cases for small and medium enterprises, branding is a long way down the list of things that you should be trying to achieve as a priority with your website. Now, that's not to say that it's not important, and there is a role obviously for branding. In fact, using the internet can be very powerful for creating a brand, particularly the brand of your company or the brand of you as a person. Particularly now with things like social marketing and things like that. That can be effective, but always that is done with the purpose of driving those visitors to a website or a blog or some kind of mechanism that is going to create more business for you. And so that's what I'm focusing on here, and that's what you should focus on as well with your main website. At the very least, there's a whole lot more that you can be doing than just branding. And really, if you're focusing on branding, it can be just a nice bit of self-delusion if you think that you're doing yourself too many favors with your business there. What you need and what you should aim for is some kind of response. And this is called the most wanted response, or the MWR. And here are some typical most wanted responses. First of all, you could have someone call your office for an appointment. They could purchase something from your site, send you an email request, or preferably sign up for your newsletter or some kind of free report or a white paper or a free trial if you offer something that is, say, downloadable, or you can offer a free trial of some kind. Now, in almost every case, with pretty much every business, you can think of something that you can get your visitor to do, which is going to bring them closer into your sales funnel or your prospect funnel, whatever that might look like for your business. And here's an important fact to consider about websites. Research has shown that the average visitor will not be ready to buy from you or your website on their first visit or even their second. It can take up to 7 favorable exposures to you and your message, your proposition, your company, before they'll be prepared to buy from you. And so that means that you need to put yourself in front of them and establish yourself with credibility and give them lots of great information without annoying them as much as possible. So how do you do this? Well, the best way is to capture their name and email address, and then simply to provide them useful information relevant to what they visited your site for in the first place. And in my view, this is usually the most important response that you can get from your website visitors. Now, there are some exceptions to that, and I actually do have one site myself that doesn't focus on collecting websites, but in the it doesn't focus on collecting email addresses, but in the vast majority of cases, this is the most important thing that you can do, because then it gives you the ability to market to them over and over again. So whatever you decide your most wanted response is for your website, or a particular page on your website, you need to implement what's called a call to action to get your visitor to take that response that you want them to take. And that might include things like, click here, join now, call this number, and so on. But you need to tell them exactly what you want them to do. So every page should have a call to action that's clearly in view at the end of the copy on that page. So at the bottom of the page, put a call to action. What would you want your typical visitor to do next? So many websites, you see at the bottom of the copy there's just nothing there, so they have to then go back up to the navigation menu to decide what they want to do next, and it's pretty much up to them. I would suggest that you actually provide them with the next step that you want them to take, remembering that if they get bored or confused with your site, they can just leave it with one click and they're gone. They're unlikely to ever come back. So the final point that we've got time for in this video is that you must have a strong attention-grabbing headline on your website to capture their attention and move them into the copy and the sales process or the information providing process that you have on your web page or your website. Now, there's a few things about headlines. They should be benefit focused. They should be focused on the visitor, not on the company. So often you see headlines that say welcome to such and such company. Well, I've got to tell you, that's the biggest waste of prime real estate on your web page that you could possibly put in there. It absolutely serves no purpose whatsoever. You want to hit your visitor between the eyes when they first get to your page and tell them a benefit about why they're there. Think about what their most wanted need is, why they're there, and answer that problem, address that need directly in a benefit focused headline that focuses on them as the visitor. So you use words like you and your. Don't talk all the time just about your company and all about you, because people have got one thing in mind when they come to visit your website, and that's what can you do for them. We covered that in another video. So the headline should be lively and upbeat and attention getting, but do it in such a way that doesn't sort of smack of hype and doesn't sound like a snake oil salesman too much. You can also use a headline which creates curiosity. That can be quite an effective way of using a headline as well. Okay, so that's about it for this video today. We've just covered very briefly some aspects of getting your site to convert visitors better, or to get them to at least take a response. Tell them what you want to do, having worked out the most wanted response that you want them to do, and then write your copy in such a way that it actually gets them and directs them to do that. Copywriting on a website is extremely important. It's probably the most important part of the website. So spend some time getting that as good as you can. Now, if you need some more information about how to arrange the copy on your website and how to create good website copy to get the maximum response from your visitors, have a look on our resources pages, and there's some more information there. That's at businesswealthsolutions.com/resources. Well, that's it for this video. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video shortly.